So I was scrolling through Robot the other day when I saw a post talking about the Blink-182 alphabet theory. I'd maybe heard about it a little bit before Tom had left, but information has always been a little bit lax, usually falling into a forum from 2006 with 6 people telling 6 different versions of it. To be honest, everyone has their own version of it, which makes it a great topic of discussion, and I really hadn't heard much about it, and I do believe that the Great War had much to do with that. The blog site linked in the post was released in 2011, with Neighborhoods being the last update. This seems to be ground zero for the Gen 3 version of Blink-182 alphabet theory, as well as the release where the theory gets the most convoluted. All other theories I could find post-2011 fell apart rather quickly, Gary's being the most accurate. So who is Gary Hampton? Birthing unit and winner of 2007's Best of Everything Award, Gary Hampton is, without a doubt, Gary Hampton. See, I'm Gary Hampton. WordPress. He did a fantastic job of not just archiving this information on his personal blog for us to debate about over a decade later, but also did a great job on the artwork of 2007's Midwest Electronica Harmonica emo band, Rockets. We are the Great Canadian Shield. The same cannot be said about a handful of other fan theories that have popped up in the decades since He is Gary Hampton released this theory. After doing extensive research on what has come to the theory, I was disappointed to find half-baked ideas and the confusion of what an album and an EP is. This video won't be 100% accurate, as only the members of Blink know the true story, but this is to put the theory into solid foundation, so we all can properly give inputs and opinions about it as the future albums are released, and to give the proper education about early 90s Southern California toilet ban conspiracy theories. You motherfuckers! The fire is already burnt down an orphanage because of 1992's Fly Swatter. You'll see people claim that it doesn't actually count because it's a demo, which is just wrong. Oh, stream my demo album. And in turn makes me whip out a 2003 re-release of Fly Swatter that has an ominous sticker stuck to it. But future releases like Short Bus, It Came to Conquer Uranus, I Won't Be Home for Christmas, Dogs Eating Dogs, they're all EPs, so they do not fit the criteria for alphabet theory. Buddha came out and it starts with the letter B, pretty simple. But just like addiction, the theory starts to get more convenient and conventional as the success goes up, tapering off into an artistic and chaotic yet liminal trapezoid, allowing themselves to fall, but unable to control the gravity. As they released their alphabetical and anagram Cheshire Cat in 1995, things are following as they should in an alphabet algorithm. The following 2 releases of 1997's Dude Ranch and 99's Enema of the State will also conveniently place the corresponding letters of the titles of these confident albums. Awesome. Thank you. Playing off of convenience and good timing, when 1999 hit and Travis Barker got really famous, he started his own clothing company called Famous Stars and Stripes. How convenient. It's the perfect cover-up if anyone asked what this letter F was for, and it starts to set the stage for how Blink will dangle some of these letters right in your face, as if you can hear them giggling behind the grilled cheese on a string. This is some good cheese. Grip Off Your Pants and Jacket isn't a good title and they knew it. Well fuck, what do we do now? Well, hey Mark! Hey Mark! We gotta keep this alphabet alive. What should we do? Oh, I know. Let's just simplify Guttermouth's new simplified Guttermouth logo from their Covered in Ants album they just released 2 months ago, and just slap it on the jacket. Good game. They won't notice, and I sure as fuck did it. Explaining self-titled in this context sucks because it's like trying to explain how important Slipknot and Deftones are to the emo community. This is the part where the people I've already talked to this about start to raise their eyebrows and throw around, I mean, yeah, I guess. So let's just get it over with. The blue-green line represents the left, tall part of the lowercase h, and the small pink line represents the other half. This white slanted corner isn't just here because the artist didn't want to fucking paint it. It's to signify the arch of this controversial and minimal H, something a 2002 and 2003 Blink-182 would absolutely be a part of. Alphabet theory still is one of those things the labels probably aren't supposed to know about, or else they would put it on full blast in the media, and this H isn't connected for a reason. As the band breaks up, a lot of other theories will as well, either due to Tom being gone and being replaced by Sugar Ray lead singer Matt McGraw, or creative differences as they now have completely overexploded on everybody by the time 2005 rolls around. The perfect date for the greatest hits album from a post-pop punk band. October 31st, and as it is released, we are met with some next level confusion in trying to find the hidden eye in here. Alright, here's the thing. No, we're not. We're actually going to be putting on this hat. Let's go back a couple of years. By the time Toy Podge is released, and Interscope is pushing Blink to do yet another long tour to defy expectations of their commercially dominated enema, all the guys are sitting here, all emo and stuff, because by the end of 2003, they've all become dads and can't spend time with their family. But they have to go and do yet another tour for self-titled. Tensions get higher, reasons get more reasonable, the band splits up in February. But wait, if the band had been pushed to pretty much no communication, how do they have a say in a compilation album released 8 months after their breakup? That's because they don't. Greatest Hits Volume 1 isn't a Blink album. At least not in the same vein. The album might contain Mark, Tom, Travis, and Scott on the tracks, but they're nowhere to be found in spirit. The labels burnt those with their damn rules. And now here they are trying to scrape the bottom of their bowls to clean the remnants of the best shit you've ever fucking heard in your life. You motherfuckers! Remember how Travis's badassery allowed him to survive in a fucking plane crash at such high levels of extreme badassery that he was not only responsible for undoing their hiatus, but also launched himself into the forefront of not only pop punk and radio waves, but American royalty as well? He created connections between himself and, oh hey look, the J is right there, it's right on this building, on Neighborhoods, released 2011, yep, the J's right here, just chilling, no conspiracy here, just chilling here, bro. What's up? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, J, I. Well, what happened to the I? On August 21st, 2008, longtime Blink collaborator, recording master, and friend, Jerry Finn, passed away from a cerebral hemorrhage. This dude is responsible for some of the most defining releases in music. Like, look at some of these albums that he's produced or had some sort of help in. Like, look at all of these albums, all of these incredible albums. And in just a little over a month later, Travis Barker would experience his encounter with death when the plane crash that killed both pilots, Sarah Lemon and James Bland, killed his two good friends Chris Baker and Charles Still, and DJ AM, Adam Goldstein, being the other survivor and collaborator, ended up passing away from an OD just a year later. And in 2009 of that same year, Blink-182 is pushed yet again to make more music, this time with the odds stacked even higher against them. Half of Blink's professional career albums are Mark, Tom, Travis, and Jerry. Not to mention Barker wasn't even fucking healed yet. Many reports repeating the phrase, bloodied up while recording, and how Travis thought it was too soon for him to be pushing his body like that. Why Blink-182 got back together is beyond me. Maybe deep down they knew it was their duty to re-establish Alphabet Theory. Volume 1 is still a Blink album. It's an official release, it's produced by Jerry, but it's up for debate if the main three guys had anything to fucking do with the thing. Reports of Neighborhoods being rushed throughout the entire process to the point where Blink was given an official deadline of July 31st that the album must be turned in. Creative juices were still flowing weird, the band having a slow and tedious recording process, the band's other projects still going on strong, and Travis healing from, fucking everything. I think it's safe to assume that Blink-182 didn't want Neighborhoods to come out whenever it did. My assumption is that in 2009-ish, they wanted to make a proper greatest hits album, but they didn't have the rights to do such a thing. They go to Interscope and ask them, and Interscope responds, yeah, well, only if you pump out another album first. Blink-182's 2013 greatest hits album, entitled Icon, was already planned and built without Neighborhoods in mind. Not only are all the tracks on Icon from pre-hiatus, the album cover comes from a pre-hiatus photo shoot taken in 2003, after self-titled was already created. If Blink-182 were able to produce Neighborhoods at the proper speed that they wanted to, as well as, actually owning the rights to their own fucking material, then Alphabet Theory wouldn't have turned into such a big fucking mess. It paints a grim portrait for the kind of creative strains musicians have to go through on an industrial scale. These guys aren't trying to add like extremely elaborate layered jokes that you have to stand at certain coordinates and certain tides of the moons to understand. These dudes are literally just trying to spell out the fucking alphabet. Why the fuck isn't California spelled with a K? Do they realize that spelling things with a K is cool? I once went to school with a Cameron with a K, and me, being the Cameron with a C, graduated high school like a fucking loser. And what happened to that Cameron with a K? He got kicked out of school like a fucking main character. Or he just moved, I'm not really sure. But what I am sure about is the letter K is hidden in this image. This is what really kicked off the theory for me. While my cousins were opening their presents on Christmas Day, I was too busy staring at this girl's eyelashes. I was so sure that this was the K. Up until I remembered while I was editing that I actually owned a copy of California, and so I decided to give it another look. At different angles, upside down, there it is. Or here, somewhere. It's definitely a K on here. Yeah. Oh look, I found the L. No, but whenever I first saw the 9 album artwork, I didn't like it. I still don't. It deserves the L. Now, there are a few possible answers for the 9-album conspiracy letter. The easy way, and the Tom DeLonge answering questions on a Joe Rogan podcast kind of way. Sitting nonchalantly at the top of the K is the shape of the letter on your forehead. That's how this answer makes me feel. After doing such a bizarre hide like self-titled, a similarly meta album title like 9 would, I believe, use a similar masking technique. Being as aware as self-titled was, they knew that the roof over their head wasn't connected anymore. And being the talented individuals that they are, they used their alphabet theory to symbolize where they felt that they were as a band. From the chaotic raw roots of their A to their matured sense of humor by Toypage, and being able to stay true to those roots, while being able to get smarter with their wordplay. Almost like the G jacket is a Letterman jacket of sorts. A celebration of success while remaining true to what built them. These are more than just letters of the alphabet. These can be emotions. Mark knows that this theory, just like his band, has gained international light. Something that they all deserve, but had no possible way of knowing how any of it would have panned out whenever they first made Fly Swatter. As I read the news for Blink in 2021, now 2022, there are new talks to Tom DeLonge. They seem to be more set in stone now than at the release of 9 in 2019, but I can't help to see the irony in yet another near-death experience helping kickstart Blink-182 again. Thank God Mark seems to be clean from the cancer, but I can't help to feel sorry for the man. With California, he was like, alright, let's see what we can do. I got the emo goth punk guy, I've been doing this for 25 fucking years, I know how to do this. But what happened? I'm not really sure what happened with California. It could have been Feldman, Skiba, Dirty Suits. Was it actually the success itself back in 1997 when they finally signed to a major label, only to be dealing with the consequences of those actions as long as 14 years later? Maybe. I don't know. But California didn't exactly do what Mark intended. The fans are upset because of the change, but the change is the only way to move forward. And a lot of those same people that grew up loving Blink now don't like the art that the creator of Blink makes for Blink now. In this scenario where they succeed as far as a punk band singing about pissing on the bus seat can go, what do they lose in the process? It turns out that Mark wasn't even going to go public about his chemo, but his fat bassist fingers misclicked right before his chemo session and he couldn't undo the post. I know that 9 was released almost 2 years before his chemo, but I can't help to think that the feeling of no privacy was still present even then, and potentially even more so with the uncertainty of Blink-182, even with Skiba being in the band for nearly 4 years. So what is the drive behind the band? It isn't the band member that joined in 1998 or the band member that joined in 2015. It's the band member that started it all. More importantly, it was these two motherfuckers. It's easy to plant your feet in the ground whenever you got two of them, but what happens whenever you remove one? Those roots sometimes just get shifted around. New ideas will fall into themselves and that old foundation will be slabbered in a new shiny coat, placed conveniently in the center of the art piece for all those that stop by for a quick visit to see. The reality isn't as clear to see, but we all know that those roots can still be there, even if they're shifted around. But if we know that those roots are still there and they can sometimes just get shifted around, maybe Mark's magenta punk roots are still there, not gone, but shifted. Turned upside down since Tom had officially been replaced, similar to how Mark's feelings may be about Blink-182 as he is now the only remaining original member. Or it could be The Wire, as Mark is technically the only electricity that's keeping Blink going. He could pull the plug if he really wanted to, but where's the fun in that? Sometimes you just gotta do things just because it's fun, not because it's gonna please the most people. Also, Tom keeps on talking about how we've been saying Blink-182 wrong. Yeah, I guess it's Blink-18-2 or something like that, which it kind of sounds dumb at first, but 18 divided by 2 equals 9, so this leads to even more outcomes. Maybe there were only supposed to be 9 Blink albums, and hiatus confirmed. The other outcome is that this upside-down L becomes absolute, and Blink is pressured to make a 10th album with harder emo trap influences, as Barker has absolutely and successfully jointed punk and mainstream rap culture as he intended to with the Transplants. The final outcome, and the one that I'm most interested in, is a new Slipknot-style band with all 5 original members, 2 drummers, 2 guitarists, and a bassist, the way life intended things to be.